Welcome to the Seven Crosses series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 7th of March 1992. The game's on pause for a reason which I'll explain in a little while. Now, before I get started, apology if my voice sounds a bit croaky and there's occasional break while I have a cough, because I seem to have developed a cold, and I definitely know it's a cold, it's not the other thing, because I've gone for a test, which was an interesting experience, having something shoved up my nose. And moving on quickly, I'd like to say a big thank you for your comments and feedback. You guys give me a lot to think about, and there's a lot to think about coming up in the next few weeks, but more about that later as well. But first, a bit of an update, because during the winter I had a little bit of a disaster in this town here, because I was working on a couple of other things which we'll be looking at in a little while as well, and the workers didn't get into this heating stop, and I had no heating, and effectively I lost about 1,000 population. If we come in here, I push back to, I think it was the disaster hit in about the middle of December. There we are, you can just see it started to drop down there on the end of December, and I lost roughly about 1,000 population. In fact, I lost all the population from this building, and these were down to about 50%. And what I had to do was pull in lots of workers in from other parts of the map. And this is one of the nice things: once your economy gets to a certain size, you can afford small disasters like that in towns, as long as the disaster doesn't become actually economy wide. And so what I've done is I've pulled the helicopters into here so that we can get these finished. I want you to tell me that these are finished. I think, yeah, I want to know that these are actually finished. I don't normally do this, but I really want to know when these are actually done, because we need to get workforce in here so I can work out this area. And while we're here, I just want to show you that I've started to put together the distribution now for the clothes, because this distribution office is finished, and I've got 4 cupboard holes in here. And what this is doing now is distributing clothes to Foodville and also Stilton over here. So we're now moving away from that dependence on all the clothes coming out of Knife Edge. And the other thing also in Stilton here is I've got another distribution office here. So the trucks from over there are delivering to here, just clothes, and then these trucks are doing the onward delivery to the food and the orphanage in Stilton here. So that is looking pretty good. Now, so I can start the game moving forward, I'm just going to come over and show you the reason why the game is on pause. Just going to unpause now. You can see what we've got here is a coal store, or it will be a coal store when it's finished. And I've finally decided that I needed to get this sorted out, because I'm wasn't getting the production from this steel mill, and this is going to be a long-term project. And of course this distribution office finished, so I got the dumpers in here to be able to keep this steel mill going. Hopefully these guys can have some people in. Yes, look at that, fantastic. Here we are, all finished. That's the reason why it was on pause. And of course we're going to set you to coal. Now this is going to take a little while to fill up, because every time a train comes in here and takes away coal, then this will not fill up, because the priority line seems to be here, although we got this one over here as well. So we've got no workers here. I think the part of the problem is that it's going to jazz the game up, because I've had to pull out so many people from here. So it looks like we may have a little bit of a... Yeah, we got the workers in there now. And then what I'm hoping is that this will fill up with enough coal to be able to smooth out the inconsistencies of the coal train picking up from here. Now, before we get into what I really want to do in this video, well, originally I wanted to design my nuclear plant, but we're going to go in a totally different direction here. I want to check this guy. This guy's down to 3 things, because I'm pretty sure this one is now finished, this area here. So this is all done. Now, I'm not going to allocate him to another job, because I want to do something, but probably the best way to explain this is that after watching the live stream, I've kind of thought a little bit. I'm just going to slow the game back to normal. Is I'm trying to, what I'm going to try and do now is prepare this series for the new update based on some of the information I picked up by watching the live stream. And the first thing I want to do is we're going to, not roads, rail. I want to get rid of this line here because we're going to come in here like that. And what I'm going to do here is we're going to produce a branch out here because I think this could be a good place for a train distribution office because it's going to be close enough to this area so that we can pick up the steel and that and distribute it. Plus the fact I can actually build the connecting lines in here so that without actually disturbing the whole map. So that's the idea. Let's have a quick look at F2. Yeah, I think we got enough space in here. I think maybe, no, we got this flattish here. So if I, what I would like to do is we're gonna build in, and all I want to do is just build in a little spur here, like this, just in like that. I'm just going to accept that. And then what I'm going to do is assign the guy to build this. Now, of course, I can't build the building because I haven't got the update, but I know what it looks like, and it's a big building, but it's absolutely fantastic. So this is going to be our demo, I can say, rail distribution office is going to go into here. We're going to have to get power out here. The other thing that's also finished now is we've got our TV tower here. Now, one of the new changes that's going to come in, which I saw demonstrated, is the fact that when the new update comes in, this information screen will have the influence and range for all your monuments. That's another change that's been brought in. In fact, there's a lot of changes that have been brought in, and I think we're just going to go around and I'll give you a bit more of an update. I mean, Colville's pretty solid down here. Knife Edge is doing quite well. We're going to be doing a little bit of work on Knife Edge here. And our Great Big Bear, I don't think this guy has been allocated, no. So we're going to put you on, let me just see, I think Nicomo Road Crew is, who are you? I've forgotten who you are. There you are, you're Nicomo. So we'll get this tower built. Oh, and the other thing that reminds me, it's in we're thinking that, is if any of you watch the series, you'll be aware that I'm using this as a kind of a test bed for my loyalty. And just to show you here, if I come in here, at the moment we've got a loyalty of 23%, 29%. So it's just you can say just hovering just around the average, which is the moment, which is 31%. Oh yeah, that reminds me. So apologies, I'm jumping all over the place. One thing I did pick up from the live stream, and Bill Joe actually kind of mentioned it almost as an aside, as a broken mechanic. And well, it's not the indoor pool. Where's the school? I need to find a school. Where's the school? I think the school's in here. And what he said almost as an aside was that at the moment, the teachers only pass on their loyalty to students if the average loyalty is over 50%, which means at the moment this setting is almost worthless as far as I can tell. This might explain why my students don't seem to be picking up the loyalty from the teachers, but what he did say is that has been fixed in the next update. So that is again something that we do need to take into account. And what I want to do now is we're just going to come in here. Of course, the test that we want to run here, as somebody suggested in a comment quite some time ago, was the fact that if the workers coming here are subject to a loyalty, will that mean that they will improve their overall loyalty here? And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going for monuments in this area to see whether the loyalty of our workers in this area actually get better. So that is something we're going to do. And I'm just going to pause because we got somebody at the door. delivery over, we can get back to playing the game. And I thought I'd just let this building finish. I'm really interested in it. And you can see it's just the workers on here now building this. And what I would like to do now is, there we are, all done. I think we're going to take off that there so that we've got this loyalty here. And then question is, where can I get some workers from? I think we can pull some workers out of Stilton here, because I do want to get some into here, about 100 into here. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what that means is that we'll get the workers into this area, and it means I can now take away this fixer game, so that we can. And what that should do is that will get the workers in here, should then go to this area here, and eventually what we'll probably do is actually, in fact, what we could probably, I am going to do is we're going to, all you guys are going to work in there, and then you can just distribute yourself around everything in the best way. Oh, we've got our indoor pool. Oh, it's the cinema. I think this is the indoor pool. So life is quite good out around here. So hopefully we will get more and more workers pulling into here, which means we'll get more and more workers out here. Because at the moment, this industry virtually collapsed because of the problems with the staffing here. But hopefully now we'll get, look at that. So we're going to get some workers into here. And hopefully that, oops, he's just stolen them all, but that's okay because we've got more coming in. We've also got people walking up the road here as well. Where are you going? I suppose you're going to the fire station. That's good. That's great. So we've now got that sorted. Now I want to move on to what probably is going to be the more dominant. So now we've got that sorted, what I want to do is get back over to, I think Colville would be a good place to illustrate what I'm talking about, because one of the big changes that is in the new update is one of the big changes in the new update is going to be the relationship between happiness, loyalty, productivity, and health. Now, bear in mind that everything I'm going to talk about now comes with a very strong caveat that this is the area where the devs are doing a lot of balancing. And so some of the things I'm going to be talking about may not necessarily be true in the long term. But although I will probably be prepared to guess that the main structure is going to be there, but it's just a matter of the devs balancing things up a little bit. And it is going to be a real game changer. In fact, I think when the new update drops, we'll almost be playing a new game. Now, before I get you guys too worried, I better try and explain what I'm talking about. That is the fact that at the moment, if we go in here and if I show you the overlay for happiness, you'll see in Colville here we've got 100% happiness, and we've effectively got that by providing, if we come in here, food, clothes, access to culture and sport. And that's been the standard way of getting 100% happiness for a very long time, to be honest. Even the introduction of loyalty doesn't seem to have changed it yet. Now, with the new update, providing those base requirements will no longer get you to 100%. But what it will get you to is 80%, although that may change. So that means that to get that final 20%, and what you're going to need to remember is that if your maximum happiness attained by the base requirements is 80%, you can see at the moment, if I pause the game here, we got this worker that he's 90%, 99% happy. He's got everything he needs, but he's only got 88% productivity. Which means that even in this coal mine, he's only doing 88% of what his potential is. But now, if his happiness is actually pegged down to 80%, you could probably guess that means that his productivity, which is tied to happiness, will drop to about 70%, which means that the output of the coal mine will drop. Now, the coal mine isn't quite so important, But if you look at, say, a food mart like this, which has got 45 workers in, that means I know I've got no idea what the ratio is, but I would say that based on that, you can get 45 workers can feed 223 people. That means every one of these shop assistants, for you could say, has the potential to serve 5 people. Now, if you imagine that's at 100% productivity. So if you imagine if this drops down to 70%, that means that they're only able to serve 3 people. And of course, if it drops down to 30%, which is going to be a very real possibility in the new update, this means that you could have 45 people in here, and they could literally only be serving, say, 45 people or less, or just around that. This means that when we're going to be planning going forward now, we're going to need to think a little bit about 2 things. One, getting our happiness above 100%, especially in areas where you need high productivity. Also, when you're going to be planning now, building an ideal balance between your factories and your output is not necessarily going to get you the way forward. And therefore, what you may need to do is plan for more workers being less productive, so you'd get the same output than one ideal factory fully staffed with everybody being totally happy. How do you get above 80%? Well, I think most of us know the basics. That means TV, radio, means access to electronics. I would guess that thrown into the mix will be high loyalty. Therefore, if you haven't got high loyalty, you won't get high happiness. But the real stinger is alcohol. Now, if I come over to here at the moment, and I show you, so at the moment we've got access to no alcohol here. And if I show you an individual here, you can see they're quite happy, despite the fact that they've got no alcohol. Now, what the devs have done is they've increased the effect of happiness of alcohol, which means, and I think, I'm not sure if you're going to get the full 20%, but you could. I think it's quite a big push up, actually. Again, I don't think it's worth quoting a percentage, because until the update is actually finalized, then what we can do is do some testing to find out how much percentage you can gain by giving your population alcohol. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite a big boost. Now, that sounds great. Yes, what you're going to do now is rush out and build pubs in every town, with something that I don't do because I run a dry economy. But, and this is the big but, that they're also hinting that they're strengthening the effect of alcohol on health. So it means that if you've got a town that's got plenty of alcohol, that means your health will be low. And at the moment, if I show you the health, you can see the health brand here is already only just at 85% now. Now, health is needed for growth. If you've got high health, you get more children, which means that you get a faster growing economy. So that means that when the new update drops, we're going to be forced to make a decision over, do we give our population lots of alcohol so we get lots of happiness, so we get lots of productivity, or do we keep a town dry so we have more growth? Now, I've thought a little bit about this, and my conclusion is that I think there's 3 options. And one is to have a dry town, which in Colville is going to be the example of that, because most of the industry around it isn't 100% crucial in the long term. Then you're going to have wet towns where there'll be alcohol served, and probably a good example of a wet town will be Stilton over here, because with all this industry here, we're going to need high productivity. Now, my third option is more of a bit of speculation, and it's something I want to test, and Knife Edge has been suggested for that. That is having a town which is half and half, by putting the pub somewhere where it doesn't cover a large area. So what that would mean is that you'd have part of the town that would have low health. At the same time, you'd have another part of the town that got lower happiness, but they're actually healthier. So that you've got a split of a town. So this is where we're going to start with my kind of, you could say, pre-preparation for the new update. And what I'd like to do is, I just want to check something. I think if I build a pub here, it won't get up into these flats here. So, and of course this area is redundant anyway because of the pollution. So we're just going to get rid of you, and going to take this out. And we'll just trim the footpaths out. They've all gone. What we're going to do is insert a pub into here. Of course, one advantage I've got is I've got a microbrewery down over here, which we're going to push into use as well. Because that's another thing I'm going to have to think about, is producing some alcohol. And what I'm hoping to do is get this all in place before the new update drops, so that I can get a baseline. It'd be nice to get, I think we can put a full-size pub in here. We'll just kind of inch that round a little bit like that. And we're just going to drop a pub in there. And we're kind of, oops, 6 as a footpath was. So we're just going to hook that through like that. Oops, I'm not going to, and we'll get these guys to do the honours. We can build the road there, there, and there. So we're going to have a pub here, but that pub will only cover this area of the town, and then what I have here is our happiness growth area here. As I say, Colville is going to stay a dry town because I want to see the effect on happiness without the influence of alcohol. Right, so this is finished now. Okay, so we now got 2 blocks here. Got people moving in. I don't want the, we're going to be there. I think what I'm going to do is just let the over 21s flow into this block here, and hopefully they will just kind of fill up this area, and we should get now not that many people here, but hopefully as more and more workers come into here, we'll get them working in there. But as long as we got some workers in our heating plant, I'm going to be happy. Now this town, I'm not sure whether it's going to be a dry town or a wet town at the moment. I mean, probably eventually it's probably going to need to be a wet town, but we're going to not worry about that just at the moment, because that's technically still under development. Now Stilton, I certainly want to make into a we're going to put some bars into this place. So where can we put a bar? Probably we're not going to get, yeah, we're going to have to probably need 2 of them, aren't we? In fact, and of course, because this is pre-built, we've got I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for some other ones here. You guys, I can't say it, a karaoke bar. My karaoke days are long over. We got a canteen with old restaurant bar. Maybe we can put, no, that doesn't really fit, does it? I think we're going to put a karaoke bar in here. So I'll just drop you in about there. It looks like he doesn't need heating, which is good. And what we could do is put maybe not a karaoke bar over here. Got a tavern. Got a kiosk for beers, 24. I mean, maybe we'll put a vanilla alcohol one in here. We could probably just put you on this corner here as well, like that. And then we'll just build a footpath into there. Make everybody happy. Actually, we need to connect up this as well while I'm at it. Maybe we can put a connection there. We've got, wow, what are you lot doing in here? You're not meant to be in here. There's no work for you. Get rid of you. So, yeah, I think that's because there's no real jobs in this area at the moment. So, so we're just going to accept that, and that should get picked up automatically. And let me just see. Yep. Well, there's no point everyone stood here because there's nowhere for them to go. We do need to get some more industry in here, but we will. That will come with time. What's that there? Technical services, yes. So I mean, hopefully this construction office here, where are you? Where are thou? You should be kind of detecting and picking up all this stuff. I suppose. Why are you not? Well, we could build that. You can give an assist on that. Oh well, you can build that. Don't understand why they're not detecting. For some reason he's detected that. What else do we get? Oh, we built this here. Oh, I've got a feeling I might have cancelled some of this stuff. I certainly would like the. I think I wouldn't mind the power infrastructure being built in here. I think we'll build that. There's a power cable there. I think maybe if we do concentrate a little bit on the power infrastructure, that one there going to there. Oh, and the other thing I do need built is this line, because we're going to need to get out to here, and because we're going to need power out to here. Fair enough, are you going? That looks like it's broken. Okay, we're going to need to fix that. Why are you... Oh, we need that built. And this is actually broken. Right, I actually need to remove this. Actually going to take you out, because you're not actually. We need to redo this power line here. That is not connected. Where are you? Oops. Finger slipped. If I accept that, hopefully this will have connected all the way through now. That goes to there. Goes to there. Yeah, I think that's now hooked through. It's good. We won't bother allocating that just at the moment. Let's let that run. So we got the pubs in here. So what we've got to do now is go over to Ollerton. We're going to need to get some pubs into here. And our little cableway here is coming together quite steadily. Okay, we've got another one. And I think we've got the same problem here. Where are we going to put the pubs in here? We certainly don't want this to be a dry town, because you're going to be a real hub center of. I think we can get a pub in there. Of course, one of the problems we're going to have is the. One of the problems we are going to have is where we're going to get the alcohol from, but we'll be looking at that in a little while. So we got up there. Actually, I think what we'll do is an asphalt road there, and maybe we got that pub should cover that side of the town. If we put in a pub in here. Sounds strange to be saying I'm putting pubs in. It's a long time since I've actually considered an alcohol industry in this game, except for export and tourism. So we've now got a pub there. We just need to get some alcohol to it. But as I said, this is very much planning for the new update, because I think if I got the pubs in place, like I might be able to do is avoid a population collapse, because one of the observations from the live stream is that because one of the observations from the live stream was that if you continue with an existing save game, you're going to have quite a big problem trying to rebalance the happiness and everything, and to keep everything going. And again, if you're interested in seeing the effects, so certainly watch the back half of the live stream, because some of the problems are starting to develop. Now here we have actually got a microbrewery. So what we could do is just make this into an entertainment center. In fact, I just had a sudden thought. Where was it? It was the karaoke bar, wasn't it? That's a bit big, but maybe we can have a karaoke bar about here. Or actually, I'm kind of thinking that it'd be nice to have a small bar. No, let's just go for. I mean, this is a tourist center, so maybe we'll have a karaoke bar in there like that, and then we could probably put a route there, that possibly out like that. So that will fill in there. We've got a microbrewery here, which was going to supply the hotels, but I think this community is never going to get excessively big. So this now, another thing I want to check out is whether the alcohol supply is a bit erratic. So I'm not going to worry too much about production in that area. So we've kind of sorted out our bars. Now there is something I do want to check up there it is. Yeah, the farm here is getting very close to completion. Oh, it has completed. Of course, we've missed the sowing season, so there's no point putting tractors and stuff into here at the moment. What I do need to do is redo the fields. I think all the fields here are all done, so I'm just going to do this while I'm thinking about it. So I'm going to come in here. And what we need to do is do 1, 2, do the medium. Oops, no road connection. That's okay. 3, 4, 5, 6 there. Actually, this is a medium field. We put in a mud road there. Well, it won't make that much difference. And then that'll give me 7. And then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4 that side. And 5, 6. Possibly 7. And then we can go 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. And what that does is allocate that farm there, ready for next year. And the one thing I do want to do is get some fuel out here, so we're going to have to get a fuel delivery here. And I think, what's the fuel capacity of this place? Where is it? 45 tons. I think 70% will be more than enough, so we'll get 70% in here. And hopefully if I build up enough money, we'll be able to get that up and running. We've now got another building here that's finished. What building was that told me? Some building flashed up and said they were finished. Construction. I'm sure there's another one that came up, told me that, okay. How are we doing here? We're getting, we're getting more of a workforce into here now. But we still they don't want to work here, do they? I would have thought by now, maybe once these get up to a certain point. I mean, I could allocate one of these to here. And I mean, you've got a workforce of 128. In fact, I think if we kind of allocate you to there, but put you predominantly, then we can put 70% onto that. What that means is that 70% of 126 is about 80 workers. That should guarantee at least 80 workers in here on a rotating shift pattern, because what we're going to need here is 90, and then the rest can flow down into this area, and then hopefully other people will stroll in there and actually get things done. Yeah, I think it's just going to take a little game. It's going to take a little while just to. Yeah, we've got no over 21s at the moment. I've just got to kind of fill in that backlog that's going here. I mean, this farm is here. Wow, we're in April. We got 4,000 tons in here. I think we're starting to get overproduction, which is good, because in fact that just gives me an idea. Let's check here. Yeah, 3,000 in there. And of course, with the fuel now, we're not burning so much fuel from here, so that's making a difference now. Look at that. Wow, we're in April and we've still got nearly 3,600 tons of crops here. That gives me an idea, because we're going to need to produce some alcohol. Now, long term, I would probably want to put my primary alcohol production up here in what the town that we're going to produce food here. But the thing that I want to do is we're going to need a short-term alcohol supply. In fact, before we do that, I just thought of something else. Apologies for jumping all over the map. What we're going to do here, I want to push this road out a little bit like that, and possibly actually let's just do a little bit of work on this area here, because this is where our prison is going to be once we get it, and prisons are really big, because I want prisoners working in the iron mines here. Now, one feature of the prisons is that you've got prison buses, and the prison buses and police cars are separate categories in when you purchase them. But one thing that did come up in the live stream is the fact that if you've got prisoners and you want them to work in these iron mines, it seems they only work in fields or iron mines. They don't work in ordinary industries or something, although that could change. But what you seem to have to do is you can't send them to a bus station, because otherwise they might escape. So what you're going to need to do is actually you've got to send them directly to the mines. So what I'm thinking is, if we come out, a road out like that, and a road across like that, and then I think what we'll do is we'll put a kind of a bus platform, take that off. We're a fairly big pickup point. Don't really like that one. I prefer this with the two entrances. So I think we're just going to very quickly do a little bit of planning here with respect to there, and I want a central food shop in the center. Well, we're going to bring the food up here from Stilton, so maybe what we can do is just shoot in a shop here. We've got the corner market there. Now this population is going to need to be, what's it? We've got we're going to need to populate workers of about 2,000. So what we'll do is we'll drop you in about, what's the storage in this? 45, 30 tons. I think we'll be okay. What we can do is just put you there, and we'll put a little delivery cargo station right behind like that. So that's got you there. What I'll most likely do is we won't build a university, because we got our headquarters here. So what we could do is set a bus route up so that students who want to study, and the fact what we'll do is put another road down to like that. So we're just going to leave that, and what I want to do now is check my rail line and see that is, and then I want to do a bit of planning for alcohol production. This guy is well on his way to wherever he's going. He's nearly out to here. Pretty good. You're building out to here. You don't seem to be making much progress. I don't know what's up with you. Oh no, you're doing the two-pass solution, aren't you? You've actually broken through there, so that means that this guy's decided that he doesn't. Oh, wow. I want you to build that because I want you to come back the other way so that we can do this bit here. And then I think once that's done, we'll start looking at electrification. Building on fire, we should be okay. Now, just while we're here, let's have a quick look. Yeah, because the coal's building up, but we're now getting that, so we need to get more workers out here, but that's fine. I'm quite happy with that. What are you doing? Just have a quick look, make sure we're actually running out of jobs, because I stripped all your jobs to build this over here. I think what I'm inclined to do now is possibly think about building up some of this. We've got this built here. Oh no, that's the fire station. No, I think at the moment, what would I want to build now? I don't really want to build that. Actually, let's get you on that. Oh, let's start building the pubs. Anything else out here that needs to be built? Oh, there's a gas station here that needs to be built. A little bit distance out. What have we got here? I think this is tech offices. Actually, that could be quite useful as well, technical services, because we're going to need to keep this open for transport. Have a quick look, actually. Yeah, I mean, we're now at 62 tons of fabric, and so we are right. I think what I can do now is we'll balance this. So let me just see. Is this actually I need to look at, not the fabric factory. So we need 2 tons of fabric for this area here. So let me just, oh, I can just whack it all out, can't I? So let's remove all this stuff now. Food, don't need food. We don't need clothes. So we got that there. We don't need mechanical components. We don't need that. And right, it's 50-50 at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to reduce that a little bit. And to be honest, if we got 156 tons of clothes in here, I've got problems. So we're just going to let these guys run, give them a head now, and we should be away. Now, returning back to where are we going to make some alcohol? My instinct is to actually possibly do the alcohol here, because once we wind up these biofuel plants, which I intend to do once we got the oil refinery really going full blast, we could do it. Now, actually, let's have a look here. We're going to go with the standard. Oh, that's 11.8 tons of pollution. Now, I don't want to tap it directly into here. We got our little microbrewery down here, but I mean, we could put it in here, but we don't have work to build the infrastructure. We could put it up here, but it's a little bit close to the town with 11.8 tons of. How about? Oh, yeah, because we got over here. This is a little bit of a waste, isn't it? we've got a potential distribution center here, which we could do, and we've also got a potential import point, but no, I think we can do it without. So we've got a warehouse here that's got 5 tons of electro components in it. I've got absolutely no idea, because we do need to. Eventually we will be bringing the electro components in, and no, actually, let me think this through. Now we've actually gonna have mechanical components manufactured in Stilton, isn't it? So it would make sense to actually. Let me just think about this. This is not it. This is Stilton over here. And we got a lot of space here. So you could argue that we've got a nice bit of open space here. With and if we go here, and we've got cargo platform. So say for argument's sake, I could put you there. Yeah, say for argument's sake, it's not as big as I thought it'd be. We could, in the mechanical component plant is there. We could. Exactly sure why you got. You won't need coal. That's a dead set. Actually no. I'm starting to think. We got mechanical components there. We got the office there. So if I put it, say about there. Actually, if we put it there, like that. We put you there. I mean, the power's no problem. We'll sort that out. And then if I get some storage in here, and small warehouse, 50 tons of mechanical components, that would be more than enough. And we can put you in about there. There's no real pollution factor here, isn't there? So we can, and then if I put a small cargo station, I think we only need a tour, won't we? Like that. And what that will mean is that eventually our helicopters will pick up mechanical components from there. That means that we won't. Oh, I've actually got mechanical components over here, haven't I, as well? So we got 2 possible mechanical component pick. Actually, no, cancel. Don't need this, do I? Because we have a dedicated mechanical component area here. Just get rid of that. That was a bad idea. Right, delete you. Because we got mechanical components over in Colville, and that little factory here can produce enough for what we're going to need, because we can escalate the storage in this area more over time. Yeah, that was a complete waste of time. Back to over here, so we don't need to worry about mechanical components in this area. Yeah, I'm starting to like the idea of putting some alcohol production in this area. How far can you guys? Oh, you can get all the way out to here. I'm just wondering if I put the brewery or the alcohol factory, say about here. That should. We're going to need to bring power in because a windmill isn't going to be enough, is it? If I put the alcohol production, no. No, that's I'm gonna have to move that. Set a sudden thought. We're going to move it a little bit closer in to the factory. We're going to put it about there. Put it there because what I think we're going to need to do is, this is going to be the warehouse that we're going to ship the alcohol from, because it will then come there. So we're going to need to get a factory connection from here to here, and then we're going to need the ability to bring in crops by train and store them. So we probably need to get rid of you. In fact, I'm going to rework this area a little bit. It's painful, but I'm going to get rid of you. There and there. That's going to be a bit risky, but we'll be okay. And we'll just come out a little bit like that and put you there. Get you there. And then we're going to need to take out this bit of road here. And then I think I've got the connection. Where is it? Forklift facilities. We need a road crossing here for the fork truck. Like that. Oops. So you've got a road crossing into there. And then what we'll need is a silo over here to bring crops in. Simply because we need some capacity, because if we're going to make this go faster, we may not be able to get enough crops from here. So what we can do is plan a, what may call it, a silo. Storage. Okay, how big are we going to go with the storage? It's got 3,200. Might be a bit big, because I don't want this to dominate. Let me see. 5,400, 150. Where's it? We got here 24,000. Where's my one that I normally got? A grain elevator with 4,000 on it. That looks pretty cool. You could connect that to there. Or that. Actually, that's even better. And turn that round. Maybe a little bit of overcapacity won't be too much of a miss. So we can put a grain elevator there. That. And then if we put in a factory connection crossing there, like that, then we're going to need a garage. Where are you? Cliff garage. Oh, you can do it, game. Yeah, look at that. We can put a garage in there. We're going to need a power supply. So the idea is that we can begin with, we can put the crops into here to fuel that, and we can get a little bit of a forklift session going here. Then if we need more crops, we can bring them into here, which will then actually come into the factory here. This will be in range of there for the workers, and the only other thing we're going to need is a power supply, because I don't think that we're going to need to put a power supply in here as well, because I think power supply that these guys are drawing from here isn't going to cut it, is it? So I think if we put, this game's getting a bit sticky. I think if we put a small substation there, and then we're underground, be underneath to there. It's not going to need that much power in this area. And then what that will mean is we can get some alcohol production going in this area. We've still got the ability for some exports and imports into here, which would be the alcohol out now. because yeah, I think that will work. And I'm aware time is pushing on, so we're just going to bit of a zapparoo round. Thank you, game. I want you to build that and that. So you're building that, and that, and you can also start the process of getting this lot built again. In fact, I'm going to put the helicopter crews on because I'm a bit aware that I need that, and that built by the helicopter crews, because this station here is exposed to a risk of fire. Although, yeah, because we got no helicopter fire crews here. So that is looking good. Let's get over to Ollerton and just see what's going on over here. We got that ready there. You can get into here. I think this guy's got a bit of a problem with probably steel. Yep. Problem is the time it takes to haul it out. But in fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'd like to get this online as well. So I'm going to get these guys are working on that. That reminds me, I haven't checked my oil field. Let's see what's going on over here. Well, they are kind of putting it together. You need to fill that road in there. So you're building that, you're building that, you're building that. So it won't be long before we got all this put together, which is good. And then, how was this? Wow. Okay, we're going to need to get a little bit of urgency on getting some rail track out here, aren't we? Okay. What are you guys doing? Not a lot. I think for the moment, that's a long way, but I don't have a dedicated road crew in this area, so I think a little bit of assist in this area would work quite a long way as well. And then maybe we'll go all the way out to here and see if anything road-wise needs to be built here. I think we're got you there, you there. You can work on that. Any other roads that you need that to be built as well. Really like to finish this bit, but to do that we'd have to disrupt the tankers. And you can go there. We'll just keep you busy. And you can go there. I mean, there's no road connection there, so you can just build a rapid road into there. Okay, accept that. Actually, let's upgrade these gravel roads. We may be a hick village, but we need a certain amount of. So we need to work on this area here. But again, there's no rush until we get this lot built, and you should be working on it. He's getting there. Still again. Over here, I've actually got the power station connected up, and I think they get intermittent workers here. Well, I'm not relying on the power station just at the moment. How are you guys doing here? So you're working on this. Actually, let me just... well, these guys are working on this, so... they're good. Let me just see... we got alcohol production there. How is the fuel situation here? No, it's not too bad. We got that working. Overall happiness, government loyalty, 31%. Well, and I think just to finish off, we're going to give this a once over. At the moment, the loyalty is probably still in the low 20s. We'll just take a quick look. Yeah, 19%. In fact, the loyalty is higher here than over there. But these are probably the newcomers coming in, because I've set this condition that they've got to be over 25%. We'll try and lift it there. I'm not totally happy still with this workforce here. What we got here? Oh, we need a private school. We certainly want to get that to 25%. We don't want numpties in here. We've got an old nursery block here. So this is coming together. And what I'll do off camera is I'll set this farm up. Have you got fuel now? So you've got fuel. We got this farm all set up. And I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. Any opinions on the new update, especially the new relationship between happiness, loyalty, productivity, and health? But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.